Now, while our time together is coming to a close, know that our climate actions and journeys extend beyond this dialogue that we're having today. There are various ways that you as young people can take action on climate. And to start, I would like to invite Mr. Oliver Patterson, Chief of Section of Sustainable Development and Countries in Special Situations at UN ESCAP, to share with us on the way forward to the 10th Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. Oliver, the floor is now yours.
Great, thank you, Sissy. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks very much, and good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to join you here today in this closing session, unfortunately. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you all for your active engagement in the climate dialogue that was organized by the Youth Empowerment and Climate Action Platform, YECAP. Since yesterday, you've been sharing your experiences in witnessing and dealing with the impacts of climate change, how you can contribute more, and what role youth can take. And also, just earlier on, we heard how the role of youth needs to be taken much more seriously. I was able to join a little bit yesterday and today, and honestly, I must say I was really impressed about the enthusiasm and active engagement of all the participants. So that was certainly really exciting. I think more engagement, active engagement, is certainly key to formulate more inclusive climate adaptation policies. And it's also key for pushing for a more ambitious climate mitigation effort, which could create new and exciting jobs for you, young people, as we heard before, the whole session about green jobs, empowering youth to pursue more green jobs. I think YECAP is a great platform for cross-learning, and within just a few years, it certainly created amazing opportunities for young people to explore and co-create climate solutions. And certainly kudos goes out, I think, to all of you who are involved in the platform. The 10th Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development is going to be taking place on Monday, next Monday. So we've actually been really busy organizing that over the last few weeks and months. And as you know, this Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development feeds into the high-level political forum, which takes place in New York, usually in July. And as you know, maybe for the high-level political forum, during this forum, all countries meet to examine challenges that they faced in meeting the SDGs, and they also present their national voluntary national reviews. And this year, in fact, more than 40 countries will be presenting their VNRs at the high-level political forum. Importantly, 2023 is the midpoint of the implementation of the 2030 agenda. And to mark this occasion, an SDG summit will be taking place in September to review progress that we've made at the midpoint and to identify regional priorities on how to move forward. And I think we certainly urgently need solutions to accelerate implementation of the SDGs in the remaining years that we have to 2030. The APFSD, the Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development, will help the region to undertake a comprehensive stocktake of SDG progress and to also build SDG response packages and alliances to carry to this global SDG summit. The APFSD Youth Forum took place over the past weekend as a pre-event to the APFSD, and this developed a youth call to action to strengthen youth involvement in the follow-up and review processes for the 2030 agenda with governments in respective countries. Now, we at ESCAP are happy to take forward some of the key messages that stem from these dialogues. And we therefore look forward to engaging APFSD Youth Forum delegates as well as YECAP fellows at the APFSD. And at the Asia Pacific Regional Session of the 2030 ECOSOC Youth Forum. We'd certainly like to keep the momentum on youth engagement for climate action and sustainable development. You may also know that ESCAP's 79th Commission session, which is essentially our equivalent in Bangkok to the General Assembly that is organized every year in New York. This annual Commission session will be taking place in May this year here in Bangkok. This year, the theme is Accelerating Climate Action in Asia and the Pacific for Sustainable Development. And I think this will provide an important opportunity to strengthen regional cooperation on climate change and regional cooperation or more involvement of youth. I'm pleased that 2 young delegates will present a youth statement at the opening session. And hopefully this will inspire discussions on opportunities and bold solutions to catalyze maybe more ambitious climate action, which of course needs to be supported by climate finance and investments. Youth climate champions from a number of our member states will also be joining the national delegations at this commission session. And we hope that they'll be strengthening positions and requests to the Secretariat, to ESCAP, to continue delivering much needed support for achieving low emission strategies, how we can essentially live our life in a less emission intensive way, but also how to transform the energy industry and transport sectors and secure finance for development. So this said, I do look forward to your continued engagement, also at the 79th ESCAP Commission session and at next week's APFSD as members of your country delegations. And I hope you'll be able to visit the Climate Solutions Fair. I'm certainly looking forward to following YICAP's future activities. I'd like to thank you, as I said at the beginning, for everyone's active participation. I was very impressed how everyone really gets involved and has this this call for more youth involvement and taking young people more seriously. And I think that's certainly a very valid point. So that's all I have at the moment, Sissy. Thanks for letting us contribute here to the closing session. And next time I will try and make more time to be able to follow all of your sessions. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Oliver, for your sharing on the 10th Asia Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development, and of course on the other opportunities that youth can engage beyond the dialogue today. So thank you once again. Up next, I would like to invite Ms. Sai Jyoti Mairashala, Program Officer, Asia Pacific Resource and Research Center for Women, or ARROW, to share with us her remarks. Sai, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sissy, and warm greetings from the co-conveners of the APFSD Youth Forum, as well as from ARROW, to all the YICAP participants here. We have just, as Oliver has said, we've just concluded the APFSD Youth Forum from the 18th to the 20th of March, and this was held in Bangkok, and this garnered young people working on sustainable development issues across about 36 countries. Around 500 young people actually engaged in the process, and these young people actually engaged through the physical modality and through the online modality as such. In relation to the climate recommendations, there is this whole youth call to action that has been launched just today, and we will be sharing the links as well with you. And some of the key recommendations that are in line with the climate action include that young people from the APFSD Youth Forum have asked for meaningful and inclusive participation of young people in the planning, in the monitoring, in the implementation of environmental programs. And throughout the Youth Forum, it was recognized that young people are coming from in all their diversity, and the impact of climate change will be experienced differently for different young people based on the backgrounds that they are coming from. And that's the reason why a lens of social inclusion, a lens of equality, a lens of equity, and an intersectional lens is very crucial as young people address issues of climate change in this region. Also, the request for improved access and affordability to clean and green technology, this has come out very clearly in the recommendations. And also support for youth-led and youth-serving organizations through funding was another key area of focus. Also, there was a call for protection of climate change related and environmental human rights defenders, and also access to climate education for children and young people. These were some of those other recommendations that were coming out from the process. One other aspect that was also coming in was to look at cohesion of the SDG processes with the COP processes and other youth-related processes that are supported by the UN, and how young people can cohesively engage in these processes and not engage in them in a siloed manner. What we will also do moving forward from here is to also connect the YECAP participants and scholars with the APFSD Youth Forum participants, so that we can see increased synergies and increased collaboration amongst the young people in the region. We will also be sharing the youth call to action with all of you, and thank you for providing this opportunity to the YECAP team. Thank you, Sissy.
Thank you so much, Sai, for your sharing and for inspiring all of our young people here with us today. Finally, we will move to the closing remarks for our regional dialogue. And first up, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Zawad Alam, YECAP Fellow, Movers Envoy, and Team Leader of Project WE, to share his closing remarks. Zawad, over to you.
Well, thank you, Sissy, for giving me the floor. My warm greetings to all the distinguished guests and energetic youths present here today. I'm truly honored to be able to speak and share my journey in this Regional Dialogue 2023. I'm Jawad Alam, the founder of Project WE and also a Movers Envoy and YECAP Fellow. The journey of Project WE started back in 2018. As I grew up, I realized that some people have a very common practice of throwing plastic bottles anywhere and everywhere. The horror of the climate situation struck me badly, and I noticed there was lack of awareness, lack of seriousness about this issue among the people. So I took the initiative to let people know about the adverse effects and make them feel responsible for our own climate, and hence Project WE's climate action journey was born. Starting from a single initiative, Project WE gradually became a team of more than 300 climate leaders. We started taking challenges to make our Earth a greener place. We started planning different climate action campaigns and tried to reach as many corners of the country as possible. We started conducting capacity building workshops, community engagement, and climate awareness programs offline and online. And to move ourselves to a larger number of people, I joined YECAP Fellowship and served as the communication team lead and coordination team lead in 2 different cohorts respectively. While doing this fellowship, me with my team introduced 8 climate action challenges for the youth of Asia Pacific. When I was honored by the YECAP Climate Grant, I launched the Green Mile 6-month-long climate awareness program in Bangladesh. Throughout this journey, we have faced a lot of challenges as well as gathered many fruitful learnings. From younger to older people, we got a chance to reach every generation and spread our climate awareness program to ensure climate literacy. We want to build an aware, responsible generation for which we need the support of everyone. We want to educate the school, college, and university-going students about climate actions and the ways of mitigating carbon emission and environmental pollution. We want to introduce capacity building climate awareness education program in national level to create more and more climate leaders who will work in every corner of the country. Starting with one beneficiary, Project WE has now reached over 1 lakh people in the country through this Green Mile campaign, and we dream to reach every person of this country one day. With this, I would like to conclude my speech, and now I would like to share a video of our overall journey of Green Mile campaign. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Zawad, for your sharing and for your video as well. I think I speak on behalf of all of the participants here to say that we are extremely inspired by a lot of the efforts that you have done. And of course, thank you so much for always being our Movers Fellow and cheerleader. And we can't wait to see what other amazing and inspiring things you do next in the space of climate action. Up next, I would like to call on Mr. Abdullah Al Abdullah, Acting Executive Director of Reach Out to Asia at Education Above All Foundation, to give his closing remarks. Let us give a warm round of virtual applause to Mr. Abdullah. Over to you.
Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you, Sisi, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for organizing such really wonderful youth dialogue. Very pleased to join you here today. Really have some time to really listen to your intervention and really being really inspiring moments for us. My main and the whole organization as like Education Above All Foundation and Reach Out to Asia program, participating in such youth dialogues is really to learn from you guys, learning from the youth, try to put our really measures and some actually parameters of how we could really get the most of the benefits of having youth in our programs, since they are the center of the program. So you may maybe look to our website and search for Education Above All Foundation and look for what Reach Out to Asia program is doing right now. We are about to also change and update the information in the website. And part of what I want to talk to you today is what kind of information we'd like to update and add there. It's mainly about our upcoming strategic plan starting from 2023, and even more focus on climate change, especially climate change education in general, and climate change education for action, and in particular, since our project targeting youth from 15 to 24 in several ways. And I think we've learned a lot from listening to you guys, and also would like to receive from the findings of today's dialogue and the youth forum that Ms. Sri talked about earlier before us, to also enhance the overall frameworks that we are working on the near future. So to give you a little bit more about the details about the projects or the initiatives, because I think it's really linked to somewhat what the youth are talking about earlier. So it's fall into two categories. One is we're talking about maybe the kind of some to go to the root causes in terms of education. So climate education, climate change education is not really have the attention it's needs. So a greening education and a greening learning, it's very important for us in the starting from this year and the year to come, to integrate climate change education into the curriculum, especially in the secondary schools, since we are focusing on youth. And the other stream of our strategy will be focusing on mobilizing youth to lead youth climate actions for their youth community resilience and adaptation and mitigation projects based. So that's why I'm really excited to know more about the field and how they see this, how this works. So this is really inspiring us to think this is where really moving into the right track. We already started a couple of these projects in a couple of Asian countries and others, and Africa, as long we are also, although we reach out to Asia by the name, but we also try to share what we have and learn from Asia with Africa and South America as well. All the really findings from the field really very, very promising and push us to do more with our partners. So we are really going full-fledged to match fund up to 50% with like-minded entities. UNDP as part of our really upcoming partners really work together closely in pipeline projects and any other really like-minded and have same way of thinking. We are really welcoming everyone to contact us. Lately, we've been busy with the Least Development Countries Conference held here in Doha, Qatar, like a couple of weeks ago. And this also was a learning opportunity from all over the world, especially also some were Asian countries, to focus about the climate change issues and how we can tackle them together. That's it from me today. Happy to be with you guys and to share with you our plans in terms of our strategy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdullah, for your sharing and for letting us know, I guess, what are the key sort of strategies and things that you're seeing from your side. Lastly, I would like to invite Ms. Akiko Yamamoto, Regional Team Leader, Nature, Climate and Energy Team at UNDP Bangkok Regional Hub, to share her closing remarks. Akiko, the floor is now yours.
Thank you very much. Greetings to fellow colleagues and partners from ESCAP, ARO, Rotor, YECAP fellow who are with us at this closing session, and to all the young leaders and participants who made this two-day event exciting. You accomplished all objectives set for this event and brought it to its successful closure. UNDP's portfolio on climate and youth are growing and getting ever active. On climate change, UNDP has the largest climate portfolio among UN agencies. Our investment in the Asia-Pacific region for nature, climate, energy, and waste management goes beyond $1.3 billion USD. Thus, our responsibility is equally significant. Climate Promise is the largest initiative supporting countries to enhance and mobilize the country's nationally determined contributions. In the first phase of UNDP's Climate Promise, we supported 27 countries in Asia and the Pacific to deliver stronger climate commitments. This support drawn upon UNDP's extensive portfolio across priorities such as energy, forest, water, resilience, agriculture, health, youth, finance, governance, gender equality, and green jobs. As you can imagine, they all are connected to climate change and climate actions. It also builds upon UNDP's track record in supporting governments to design and deliver climate action under the Paris Agreement. On youth front, UNDP supports the capacity development of young people and youth-led organizations and the development of youth caucuses in government, parliament, and other bodies. We engage with relevant stakeholders through outreach, advocacy, thought leadership, global networks, and policy debates, particularly in the context of the post-2015 development agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. We also support the mainstreaming of youth issues in development planning and interministerial and intersectoral coordination. On Climate Promise, we are now in the next chapter, from pledge to impact. UNDP is committed to leverage our extensive climate portfolio to support countries' efforts for integrated solutions to meet both NDCs and SDG targets. We are building the capacity of youth, especially from vulnerable communities, to participate and contribute directly to the UNFCCC processes. And we are now contributing to the activities and climate actions that contribute to the implementation of NDCs. The synthesis report from the IPCC that was launched on 20th March reminded us yet again that we have no time to lose, we must act now. In this context, I cannot stress enough how significant this event is for YECAP, as it is recognized fully by ESCAP and organizers and partners of the Asia Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development. With the formal recognition like this, YECAP can help amplify youth voices and commitments even more and more effectively. Thank you very much for being with us to witness the launch of this regional dialogue and youth-led movements. We hope our collaboration can contribute to evolve towards and beyond the upcoming global events. I would like to acknowledge all the government leaders and partners who are present, hoping to work closely together to advance this youth empowerment agenda. That movement and momentum achieved through this regional platform can be further strengthened at the national level, creating innovation, open space, and for more dialogue between the governments and youth people, which lead to more and more climate actions. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the commitment of the organizing team with the support of convening partners, all the youth fellows and volunteers who convened this event and the main dialogue, hoping they will continue to be involved in this platform and empower more young people. I'm very pleased to see a lot of LinkedIn, the link is pasted on the comments so that then people can really link themselves beyond this event. And thank you very much for all the young leaders who participate in this regional dialogue and have committed to climate action to support their communities, hoping that they are inspired, have gained knowledge, and made connection to wider their impact, and also they continue inspiring others who are not here yet. Last but not least, on call to action, to those who have answered the call to action for climate change, their roles in this movement are equally important for meaningful climate action. This challenge that we face today is daunting, but our drive and commitment to this cause will add to our resolve and urgency to act. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and we would like to continue this dialogue far beyond this regional dialogue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Akiko, for your closing remarks. And as you mentioned, we really would like to continue the conversation with you all beyond this dialogue. As you know, over the last 2 days, you've heard speakers from different countries, organizations, networks, and sectors representing various underrepresented communities to share and celebrate in youth climate advocacy in action in Asia Pacific. We would like to sincerely thank all of our esteemed speakers, guests, partners, and of course, all of you, our stellar participants, for sharing your time, attention, and insights with everybody. We would also like to give a big thank you to the organizing committee and the YECAP fellows who you see on screen now, who have dedicated their time, efforts, and love for the success of this dialogue.